I couldn't resist making a short video on this. Not only has Games Workshop's cutesy plush Squig been marked as too dangerous to keep in the house, but to get a full refund, you must mutilate your festive fungoid terror by cutting its tail off. Hello and welcome to an utterly bizarre little update from Games Workshop. It almost feels like a bit of a troll post by Warhammer community, but it does seem to be completely serious. Bounca the plush festive Squig in reindeer antlers has been marked too dangerous to keep around, and in their own words, Games Workshop asks you to stop using the product immediately and keep the product away from children. They advise you to return this dangerous terror to Games Workshop at once, or follow the process to safely destroy him and remove the risk of him presenting a hazard in the future. It's all just wonderfully silly stuff, particularly surrounding such a goofy looking stuffed toy. Basically, the reason that Games Workshop has declared Bounca the Squig too dangerous to keep around is that he has a couple of pom-poms on him, and they might become detached and have the potential to become a choking hazard for small children. Warhammer community has put up a post and basically put a returns form online. If you fill it out, then you can get a full refund for him, or you can follow their slightly tragic process to mutilate and destroy him, and still get a full refund remotely. I guess if they are truly concerned about this, it is best that they act rather than just don't bother. And of course I sincerely hope that this hasn't been triggered by any one incident. That just doesn't really bear thinking about. I'm going to guess that these products are rated for what sort of children are allowed to play with them. Maybe this one was rated for very young children. And if it does have the potential to produce small chokeable parts, then that's probably not a good thing. And perhaps why they've just decided to recall this thing in full. Apparently the recall is only subject to the UK, Europe, Japan and Australia at the moment, and they're still in discussion with the regulators in the USA and Canada. It does seem to maybe be a bit more of a regulatory thing. I can't really imagine pom-poms posing much of a threat to most older children or grown adults, but I guess from Games Workshop's point of view, it's better to be safe than sorry. It wouldn't exactly be a good look for them if they didn't recall them and then something bad did happen. Perhaps the single most tragic and slightly hilarious thing out of this whole story, though, is that for getting a refund you basically have two options. Either you return the Squig intact, or you can prove that you're essentially disposing of the Squig, and for that they advise to cut his tail off. You can see all this little white stuffing poking out there. It is just a bit hilarious seeing a fairly nice Christmas toy just being chopped up like this. I suspect that there's dual motivation here. They say it's to stop a child picking it up and playing with it in the future, but quite possibly also just to show that you are actually getting rid of it, as opposed to just keeping it and keeping this lethal Squig intact and dangerous. It looks like there might be a lot of tailless Squigs hopping around, and I imagine that quite a lot of bouncers will be spending Christmas in landfill. So I must admit I found that pretty hilarious. Feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics if you'd like to keep up with Games Workshop's releases. I do tend to focus on the models most of the time though. Feel free to check out the video description for things like the channel's Patreon page and Element Games affiliate link if you're looking to buy any 40k models sometime soon. And in any case, a massive thank you for listening. I'll hope to see you guys next time.